All right, we should be live. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can, let me know. On the front screen here, you should see a picture of both Cindy and Todd Hopes. Hero of the week has been Cindy. So congratulate her if you haven't already seen her or talked to her or seen it on Facebook. Please congratulate her on being chosen the hero of the week. A lady of many talents. Not only does she drive full time, I tell you what, this lady can take a picture better than most people I know. So, alright, let's make sure we've got everybody on here and we'll kick her off. We'll get going. Welcome to today's live. My name is Jessie. I'm with Decker Truck Line. I'm a recruiter here at Decker, and we go live every Tuesday at noon Central. Here on our YouTube channel, and every Monday at 4 p.m. Central on our Facebook channel. So if you're new, welcome, and feel free to put your information in the chat, your zip code, your city, state, whatever, and we'll be answering those questions throughout. Basically, if you have a question on what we have available for you in your area, just throw it in the chat and we'll take care of it. We'll be answering them. Our discussion today is about truck washes, trailer washes, the clean truck policy that we have as well. So if you have questions on that, obviously we'd love your input on that as well, so you can go ahead and put that in the chat also. But we'll be kind of addressing some of the different available positions that we have later on today. Unless you interrupt me, which is totally fine with me, then we'll answer it as they come into the chat. But we're talking about shop policies, we're talking about clean truck policies, things like that. So that you are well aware of the information that we have available to you on that and how often we get the truck cleaned and all that. But before we do that, let's talk about the safety message for today. Safety message 4, which is nationwide, that goes into effect this Sunday on the 12th through the 18th. So the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance will be hosting the countrywide Operational Safe Driver program. That begins this Sunday and it'll continue through Saturday the 18th. So basically during this event, while they're doing this, you're going to be seeing a lot of law enforcement agencies looking out for, well, you're used to it, but looking out for unsafe driving behaviors, such as speeding or improper lane changes, things like that. Anything that could be deemed as unsafe driving, that's what they're keeping their eyes open for. So as always, watch the speed limit, know your speed, pay attention to the rules of the road, and obey them. That'll get us started in the right direction. Seat belts, wear your seat belts. When you're changing lanes, make sure that you're giving yourself proper time to change your lanes. Give yourself a good 7 seconds. Give a couple seconds for blinker, 5 seconds for getting yourself over there, and then, of course, getting back into the right area. So lane change. Stay alert. All of that good stuff. So according to 2018, there we go, in an article, HDT Trucking, speeding violations, basic speed violations, and driving too fast for conditions, those were the most cited violations in 2018, with 17,556 total citations. And that was for the week of the 2018's what do I want to call it? The Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance's Operation for Safe Driving. There we go. So yeah, that's a lot. Over 17,000. Hi, Miss Anna. And that was just for total citations. So if you're looking at passenger vehicles, there were issued over 16,000 citations, 21,000 warnings in addition to those citations. However, for commercial vehicles, which, whole other level, we were only cited, still cited for a lot, but only cited 1,400 compared to the 16,000, over 16,000 that personal vehicles, passenger vehicles were cited for. 2,100 in warnings as well for commercial vehicles. So almost 47,000 citations issued just during the Operational Safe Driving Week. Crazy. That was announced as of 2019, September of 2019, just kind of reflecting back on that, but quite impressive. So that's coming up this Sunday. Please be careful this Sunday through the 18th, Saturday the 18th. Anna reminds us, late won't kill you, speeding will. Yes, that was the operational Safe Driver Week message from last year, I think. But as a reminder. Amy, hello, good morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. Montana, it's still morning officially. So Anna says the statistics 2018, 9,378 people died in speed-related crashes. That's 20%, 25% of all roadway fatalities last year. Quite a sad and impressive number, not a happy impressive number, but for the speed-related crashes, 25% of those ended in fatalities. Nationwide, 10 miles per hour increase ups the risk of about 9%. I was looking for that statistic yesterday. Thanks, Anna. Speeding continues to be the number one cited driver-related factor in the highway fatalities. Absolutely. Amy, how's the weather? Well, it's windy and it's supposed to be cloudy and around 75 today. So warm, but not as warm as yesterday. Black bad winds, and anytime you get in the rain, so please be safe in Montana. That's right. It is supposed to be super high winds today in Montana. I don't know about everywhere else. Heavy rain warnings, hail. They're even saying possible tornadoes up here in Montana area. So please be safe. Great reminder, Amy. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's dive into our clean truck policy. I want to go ahead and get to some of that as well for today. So shop hours, just as a reminder, for Hammond 7 to 4:30. Not open on Saturdays, but Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4:30 for our shop hours there. Missoula, 6 a.m. to 4:30 Monday through Friday. Liam's got you early squirrely, 6 a.m. to 4:30. Bessemer, Alabama, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. Again, no Saturdays in Missoula, Hammond, Bessemer. Sperry, 7 a.m. to 4:30 in Sperry as well. Fort Dodge, however, we've got 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. for the shop hours. That's Monday through Friday, but on Saturday, 7 to noon as well. And then the inspection bay is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Any questions on that? You let us know. You can always get a hold of us or get a hold of the shop at any time with questions as well. 515-574-4321. Well, that's maintenance support, but they can get you to the right people. 515-574-4321. Easy number to remember, right? Make sure you're doing your proper pre-trip, post-trip. When you're going through and you're checking not only the full post and pre-trip. By the way, you can get a checklist as well as a video of watching, what all to look for on the pre-trip and what each step would be. You can get that on our YouTube channel. You can go right through and scroll through and find one of those. But just as a reminder, check for rips, tears, anything, twists that might be on any hoses, anything that might be clamped that shouldn't be clamped. Make sure your tires are clean, no nails or screws in the tires. Steel pelting is showing, separation in caps, flat spots on your tires, air leaks, anything like that. Make sure that your tires are in good condition and ready to rock. If you're having problems on the road, like I said, the number is 515-574-4321. You can also use the main number, 515-576-4141, and then option 7, and then number 2, option 2 after that. So that'll get you through both same number, same location, same person, different number if you can't get through one of them. Amy says, hey Anna, are they restocking the online store yet? Yep, Steph is in full swing on that. That's exactly right. We were talking about that during our communications meeting last week. She is in full swing trying to get everything stocked up for our online store as well as our store in-house, which the in-house one is pretty much, she stays on top of that right away, but the online one, you don't see all the pictures, so check. When you have issues that need to be addressed by the shop, so if you're having problems on the road, make sure you're not only contacting the maintenance support, roadside with the 515-574-4321 number, but you're also contacting your fleet manager. You need to call them as well. Keep the communication going. The lines of communication need to be constantly going in both directions, however. We've got national accounts out there to take care of you so that you're not sitting there waiting forever. We want to make sure that if we can't take care of it at a shop, out of one of our own shops, that we're able to work with one of the national accounts that we have. We have recaps, steer tire, trailer tires, all of those national accounts with those as well. Safety-wise, avoid objects that are in the road. Who sent in the picture earlier this week? They had hit a deer. Just smacked one pretty good. So, yep, avoid objects. Some, obviously, you are less avoidable, but make sure that you're staying alert and eyes are all open. Summertime, kids are out. Kids have been out for a while, but kids are out, and extra motorists out on the road of all kinds, motorcycles, so be quite aware. Guardrails, poles, check your mirrors, any damage, you got to report it to safety. So we'll be talking about a little bit of that. However, remember, when you're calling in to the fleet manager as well as the shop, use your TransFlow app on your phone. Get your phone out, use the TransFlow app, and report your breakdown through the TransFlow app. That TransFlow app is handy. If you don't already have that, I highly suggest you get your hands on that. Download it. It's free. Decker Truckline TransFlow, mobile TransFlow app, and you'll be able to not only get your breakdown information to breakdown. But remember, that doesn't replace a phone call. You still need to do the phone call, but it's really easy to go ahead and take a snapshot of the pictures. It's faster than taking a picture and texting it. It's just a lot quicker process altogether. So make sure that you get that over there. TransFlow app also has the settlement information, your bonus information. There's a whole lot of awesomeness attached to that TransFlow app, so definitely get your hands on that if you haven't already. Amy says hasn't hit a deer yet. Maybe a bird or two. No, I have a bird after it hit by another truck. It bounced. You got the ricocheted onto you. All right, trailer washouts. If you need a trailer washout, you need to contact Bruce or Taylor. Bruce's extension 2180, I believe, and Taylor is 2181 for the trailer washouts. Now, when it comes to trailer washouts, a few things to remember. We do have an account with Blue Beacon. There are a couple of customers that require a washout, and they will charge us for the washout whether you have them do it or not. So always check your bill of ladings. Always check your dispatches to make sure that if you're headed somewhere that requires the washout and is going to charge us the washout, that you don't wash out prior to going to that location. There's no reason to be charged double on that. So always make sure that you're following the directions as is so that we can get those washouts. There is a washout list available to you on our Decker intranet. If you haven't already seen that, the detailed washout list, we can get you to that as well. And Amy says, FYI, Montana just passed a masks are now required in public now. Please pass on the message. Also saw that for Pennsylvania as well. That was shared in our Facebook group. If you're not already part of the Facebook group, please go and request it. Facebook.com/truckdriversupport. It's our Decker Truckline Facebook group. So if you're not already part of it, please go ahead and submit a request, because just like Amy was mentioning, any news like that, we want to make sure that we get that to everybody else as well. So all public places are requiring a mask, she says. Good thing you said that. I found that out this morning. I did. All right. So, and that starts immediately. So if you do need a trailer washout, make sure that you contact Bruce. Like I said, usually $10 receipts. Bruce or Taylor on that. Oh, Anna makes a good point. Reloading at meat facilities or dropping a trailer at a meat facility, you will not need to wash out the trailer. Since they wash out all of the trailers, they're going to charge us no matter what. So that's one of the locations that's always going to require it. Wyatt says, do you have a source for the mandatory masks in Montana? I'm trying to find that right now, but I can't. Amy, do you know, was that on the news this morning? I know PA, there. If you check out the Facebook group, it says that they're Montana requiring masks. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I did know that when I walked in somewhere. Let's see. There's Montana State faculty members debate. Nope. 18 hours ago, the public library is requiring patrons to wear masks. I don't see anything that says... I do see a comment on the 2nd that says Governor Steve Bullock on Thursday said he wouldn't issue an order requiring people to wear masks in public, leaving the county or tribal officials. So this one says that he would not. Amy, let us know where you saw that, would you? Amy says, I guess I need to stock up on masks. I only have 2 Grizz ones. Well, at least they're good ones. K-Pax, News, Missoula. Wednesday afternoon, Missoula County leaders sent a letter. Yeah, if you've got the link to that on K-Pax, let me know. I'll get that. I'd like to share that. Because I haven't seen it either, but we'll see. It's the state of Montana, though, not just Missoula. As of 18 minutes ago, K-Pax says Missoula officials to discuss proposed mask rule in public. So it looks like it's still up for discussion. Okay, so keep us updated on that, you guys. Love the info, so keep that up. So remember, all trailers, they must be washed out after every load. But if you're headed, don't do it until you know where your next load will be. Because if you're going to a meat facility, then they're going to charge us no matter what. They're going to wash it out for us. All washout receipts must be scanned into the DTL, into DTL to the payroll department. Accounts receivable, we need to make sure that you're getting your TransFlow app, either your TransFlow app or your onboard scanner in the truck to get that paperwork to them. We want to make sure that that's all taken care of. And again, if you need to get approved for it, get a hold of Bruce at extension 2180 or Taylor at 2181. There we go. Amy says she's going to go send it. Cool. Thanks, Amy. Awesome. When you're empty and you're needing a trailer washout, make sure that you know where you're loading before, just as a reminder again, because the meat facilities are in fact going to charge us. If you're not reloading at one of the meat facilities below, then that's when you're going to need to go get a washout. That's when you're going to need to refer to that trailer washout link, or that printout the list of all the washout locations that we have. It is in order by state, so if you have questions, if you're trying to find it, you can find it by state. Yes, it is definitely a few pages long, but if you don't have the list, you can pick one up from the terminal, or you can contact us so that we can get that over to you. Again, Bruce is going to be the man to do that. Elaine sent it over to me. You can also access it on the intranet, so if you don't have that list, come pick it up or contact us to let us know that we need to get it over to you. When you're washing it out, if the price is more than $35, then you need to call ahead. Again, extension 2180 for Bruce, 2181 for Taylor. If you have any questions whatsoever about it, just give them a holler. Okie dokie. All right, so do not wash at I-55 truck stop in Bolingbrook. They're going to charge $65. So we do not have the approval in Illinois to wash out of the I-55 truck stop in Bolingbrook. So heads up on that. Also, do not wash out your trailer before loading at the meat facilities in Columbus, Junction, Denison, Mason City, Ottawa, Perry, Storm Lake, or Waterloo. You must wash out your trailer before going to those in Council Bluffs. All right. Now, that being said, we know it takes time to wash out, and I know this is more refrigerated based, but I know it takes time to wash out. So we do pay you for your time for that. We pay you $10 for your time for trailer washouts. However, if we have an approved vendor doing it. Now, that being said, if you end up having to do it yourself, it is a $15 payment for the self trailer washouts. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't know if that's what you call it, but washing it out yourself. Rocky Mountain Trucker, hello. I just spoke with the governor's office and masks won't be required statewide. However, counties can require them on their own. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Amy says, I pay $12 for my truck wash. Yeah, trailer washout. A little different. Anna reminds us all washout receipts must be scanned into the DTL. Bobson says, I'm looking for lease purchase. We do have lease purchase available right now in our over-the-road flatbed division based out of Bessemer, Alabama. That being said, you do need to run as a company driver for 90 days first. We want to make sure that you've got some success with the lease or with the company position before you transition to the lease purchase, because we want you to be successful with the lease purchase. It pays 72% of the load plus the fuel surcharge on all dispatch miles. You do, like I said, you do need to run as a company driver for 90 days first, plus there's a $1,500 down payment on the truck itself. The truck payment is $675 a week, and that's a 4-year term. 4-year term for the lease purchase, and then at the end you also have a balloon payment. That's about a $67,000 balloon payment at the end of the 4-year lease. So yes, it's 72% of the load plus 100% of the fuel surcharge on all dispatch loads. So Bobson, let me know where you live. I can tell you whether or not we have flatbed out of your area. Pretty much anywhere from in areas of Texas to the Carolinas, Dallas, Houston, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, North and South Carolina, that's east of 95, west of 95, and Alabama, Georgia, all lease purchase available in there. North Carolina, I'm going to bite my words, chew those back. North Carolina, we don't currently have lease purchase out of. Anna says, trailer reefer washouts, we pay the drivers for their time. Yes, $10, $15 if you do it yourself. Orlando, Florida. So Bob's and I don't currently have any positions available out of Florida. Nothing currently south of Jacksonville. That could change, but as of right now, that's the case. As of July 7th, 2020. Yeah, as of right now, we just don't have anything in the refrigerated flatbed, van, or company or owner-operator positions out of Orlando. It'd be too much deadhead for you to be successful with it, at least. We don't want to see that. All right. So those are trailer washouts. Now trailer or truck washes, there we go. Truck washes, we do offer one truck wash a month. And if you need more, you just let us know. You contact same person, contact Bruce, and you'll need to get your receipt in no matter what. Always get your receipts in. If you're purchasing anything out of pocket, or if you're purchasing anything that that you need to be reimbursed with, always keep your receipts. Send those over to Bruce. Get those scanned in either through the TransFlow app or the onboard scanner. Yeah, that. But we do one truck wash a month out on the road. Now, when you come into the terminal, obviously you have access to getting the truck wash, trailer wash, all that good stuff. So you'll be able to do that. Some of them are do-it-yourself options. Some of it we have staff on hand to do it if they're available. If they're backed up a little bit and the do-it-yourself is available, jump on in. Go right ahead. Truck wash is free, one per month. Yep. Let's say if not washed in the last month, then Blue Beacon can be approved by costing. Yep. Yeah, Blue Beacon is who we use, and yes, you can. Sorry, I was reading Anna's comment. You could be approved for that. Save the receipts. That's exactly right. But make sure if you do come into a terminal, you definitely have access to the truck washing. Now that being said as well, we've got the clean truck policy. So if you're familiar with that, our clean truck policy, basically we want to keep everything out of the way of your feet. You want everything cleaned up. The dash needs to be cleaned. The seats, your seat, the passenger seat need to be cleaned. No debris on the ground, or everything is secured in the bunks as well. We want to make sure that that is all safe and secure in addition to everything else. So let me give you a couple examples of what it should not look like. Should not look like. Let me get you a couple of these. They're not pretty. I am just telling you that right now. The ones that, there we go. Okay, so this is what it should not look like. And I don't know how well you can see it. I can see it quite easily. But there are, in this picture, there are boxes, there are bags actually of garbage. There are boxes that are empty, donut boxes and wrappers and all over. And you look into this picture, you see even more fries all over the floor. Bottles in this one. Excuse me, cups, bottles, all of that. This is not a good example of a clean truck. As you scroll up, this dash is actually cleaned off, which is surprising because the truck itself is a mess. Make sure that everything is secured in the back as well. You can see on the side shot, this is absolutely unacceptable. And when you're coming in for even routine maintenance, then they're going to take a look at it, they're going to inspect the truck, and this is going to be a failed inspection. You're going to have to clean the truck, make sure that it meets Decker standards before you're allowed to, or before you can take off. Now, there's an example of a clean truck. You know, it needs a little bit of attention, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. You've got everything off the floor, but you still need to vacuum it. Can you see that very well? There you go. Still need to vacuum it. The refrigerator, it's empty, yes, but it definitely needs to be cleaned out. There's grease or mud or something right here, mold, who knows, but this was not cleaned out properly. If things aren't secure, if your dash is covered, those are all things that need to be cleaned up. But if it needs a little bit of attention, go ahead, take care of that. You know, if things need to be wiped down, vacuumed, between the seat need to be picked up, you go ahead and do that, and then you're off and on your way. And then, of course, we have an example of a immaculate truck. One that looks fantastic. You don't need to have anything cleaned. It's flat out meets our standards, exceeds our standards, actually. Everything's cleaned, wiped down. The wheels, the column, the gauges, the panels, the shifters, you can see how sharp that looks. And as you scroll down, that refrigerator is not only, it's empty, but it's clean. And granted, you might have stuff in your refrigerator. That's fine. As long as it's wiped out, it's clean, and it's, you know, it's not a mess, that's fine. Everything is secured. Now this is cheating because this is an empty bunk, but if you have stuff in the bunk, it definitely needs to be secured. And of course, the mattress needs to be covered by a Decker supplied mattress cover as well. So that is when it exceeds the expectations of us here at Decker. Am I missing any of those comments in here? Let's see. Some of those, yeah, some of them can be nasty. We want to make sure that these are clean. It is a huge safety benefit to have a clean truck. So Amy says Clorox wipes and spray is amazing. If it's not, yeah, absolutely. And you'll have that in all of the trucks. The shop provides that to you, not only in the shops themselves, but also for you to bring with you and provide it so that you can keep your truck that way. Because we don't want your truck only to be clean at the shop. We want it to be clean when you're out on the road, because that is when it's the safety issue. For nearly 90 years, oh, Anna, I love this. For nearly 90 years, Decker has a reputation that our trucks are among the best looking trucks on the road. So we need to help carry on that tradition. Absolutely. And our job is to provide you a clean, most up-to-date, truck out there, safe equipment. So we're representing all of the above. Correct? So if your truck is in dire need of being cleaned and everything, then you're going to need to take care of that. So if it was a level 3 where it didn't meet the expectations, it really needed to be cleaned, somebody in the shop is going to have to sign off on that before you can move forward. Again, it's a safety issue. If it needs a little bit of attention, go ahead, clean that up a little bit, and then that can be signed off. But of course, otherwise you're good to go. Let's see. So when you're coming in, that's being looked at during your services. Your A service is usually around 25,000 miles. Your B service can be really, it really just depends on the mileage on, or the engine type on the truck, what your mileage will be for that B service. If you need any supplies and when you're out on the road, contact the shop personnel so that we can, if we can't get it to you, we might be able to do some reimbursements on that too. So, but always get that information in, just like everything else. Get your fuel receipts in, get your receipts for truck washes and trailer washes, and whenever that is applicable, make sure that you're getting it in. And of course, filling out your cover sheet when you're sending it in. You should have your load number, your previous load number, your tractor number, where you're going, where you're at, where you're going. All of that needs to be included on your cover sheet, which is again scanned over either through the onboard scanner in the truck or the TransFlow app. But how you arrived, if you arrived loaded or empty, if you have a hazmat, if you were doing hazmat, if a duty code applies to you, make sure that you fill that out. East Coast pay, pallet assist, washout trailers, layover, securement, tarping for the flatbedders. All of those things need to be marked, if applicable, on the cover sheet that we provide. So, if you don't have it, you need to contact us so that we can get that over to you. Com data fuel cards, any advances that you have on your com data, they'll be deducted from your payroll. So again, that's why it's very important to have your receipts, because if you use money that's on your com data card, which obviously we have some on there for you just in case, but if you use some, it won't be reimbursed if we don't have the receipt. But if you send in, if you use a fuel advance, or advance for supplies of some sort, or a truck wash or trailer wash or whatever, and you've got approval, make sure you send the receipt in so that you're getting paid, reimbursed at the same time that you're being billed for it, so that there's no delay. We want to make sure that it's quick and easy for you. And also a reminder, you are required to use your Comdata card to pay for any scales. The tolls, we've got PrePass, EasyPass, KPass. We use the CAT scale app on our phones, also through the TransFlow app that you can get it for scaling loads. If, however, you need to use the Comdata, or if you need to advance, use the Comdata to pay for those. Any exceptions to not using the fuel card has to go through your fleet manager. So you contact your fleet manager for that. And you don't need to scan in the weight receipts with their paperwork as long as you're using the Comdata card. If you end up having to pay cash for it, then yes, absolutely, scan in your receipts. Always, always, always. Right, Miss Anna? Always, always, always. Yeah, okay. Making sure I didn't miss any comment there. If you don't use your Comdata card, we only reimburse if the weight receipt has been included and that your fleet manager has signed off on it. So that's why it's important. You don't want to get charged for anything that you're not responsible for or shouldn't be responsible for. We want to make sure that we get that it's gallons, oil and whatnot as well. That's going to be true. Now, that being said, your oil, some of your cleaning supplies, some of the basics, washer fluid, things like that, those are usually in your side door, side closet, whatever you want to call it, of the truck. It's underneath the sleeper in the truck, and that's all provided by Decker as well. So you should have access to that when you get your truck checked in. And then every time you go to a shop, make sure that you've got the refills. We've got it there available at the shop, so we want to make sure that you have the refills that you need. Definitely don't want you to be without washer fluid when you're out on the road. It's muddy, it's rainy, it's dusty, whatever, and you need to have those. You need to be able to see where you're going. So let's make sure that all of that is filled, that you have the oil. So that's up, that's full as well, so that you don't have to go get that. That way we know you're using the right one. However, if you need to get more, again, contact the shop, contact maintenance, 515-574-4321, and they'll get that for you. Very good. Excellent. So when you're using the TransFlow app, like I said, a lot of it you're just taking a quick snapshot. There is a video on how to use this TransFlow app on our YouTube channel that you can actually access. But if you're using the in-cab scanning, basically that's going to allow you to send over some of those documents, those fuel receipts, delivery documents, your cover sheet as well. When you're scanning the documents in the in-cab scanning, from the home screen, you're going to tap on scanning. So you click on the scanning. There's also a video available on our YouTube channel for that as well. But click on scanning, and then you'll go to the first page of your load. Face down, put it face down, the top first, and with the right edge lined up. And if you're lined up to the right edge, it'll just feed right through it. Tap preview box to check it, and then tap scan page, and that'll just feed it right through. You'll be able to check the preview, make sure that you can actually read it. If it's squiggly, if it's hard to read, you're going to need to don't accept it at that point and then just redo it. But if you can read it, it's clear, go ahead and push accept, and then you're going to go ahead and scan the next page, and you'll just repeat that process. It goes up to 5 pages, I think. Rocky Mountain Trucker, is the 50-mile radius around Missoula restriction still in place? Yes, it is. Ms. Billings boy in waiting. Yes, it is. For the, let's see, that is for, I was going to say for the home weekly as well. We might be able to make it work because you're right along I-90. We've opened up, I know, Seattle to Spokane along I-90. I think we'll be able to open up Missoula as well, leaving the tractor and trailer, bringing the tractor and trailer home to Billings. Do you want to contact me through the Facebook page, facebook.com/DTL Inc., so that I can talk to operations for you, see if I can get that cleared, and you and I can work on taking the next step? How's that? Amy says you should move to Missoula, by the way. Amy needs to move to Missoula. But yes, I think they're starting to open up a couple of those areas, so it might be worth giving us a call or Facebooking us, facebook.com/DTL Inc., and then I can check with operations and see if they can work with it. If they'll make it work. Good question, though. I'm glad you had the interest. Excellent. All right, so those are just a couple of reminders for the trailer wash, the truck wash, and of course the cab itself. Making sure that the Take Pride in My Ride, I had to remember, Take Pride in My Ride campaign that we have, which is the clean truck policy. All right, now remember, next week is the beginning of our Operation Safe, not ours, but Operation Safe Driver program. They are on the lookout for unsafe driving. So safety first, most definitely safety first, be aware. We'll remind you next week as well. We'll kind of go over some of the unsafe driving, talk about CSA scores and stuff next week, so that we can kind of hone in on that, and you can have a better understanding of why, you don't want the speeding tickets anyway, you don't want those unsafe driving tickets, but why getting one can be so detrimental to your license. I mean, that's your livelihood. Your license is your livelihood, and clearly you're held at a whole nother level. But you can see as a whole, as a professional driver, most of you are at a much higher level as it is, and that's why last year, or I guess that was in 2018, 17,000 versus 1,400 in tickets. So big difference. But be aware, be aware that they are out there and they are looking. I really wanted to say huge payday for them, but be careful. Be careful on that. Also a reminder for today is Tuesday, so on Thursday we've got a new podcast coming up, and if you haven't seen our podcast yet, you should go watch it. So our podcast, it is every Thursday. It goes live. You can access that. So it's just a chance for you guys to have your questions answered. Hopefully we can get to the punch and answer the questions before you even ask them. But if not, then most definitely we're opening the doors. So send us a message either through our email itself, podcast@deckermail.com. Send in your questions to podcast@deckermail.com. And bonus points, bonus kudos, if you hop on your phone and you do a voice recording. So if you go to your phone, let me open it up. If you go to your phone and then you search voice, should be in the tools, should say voice recorder. There you go. You got a voice recorder. It looks like that. Can you see that? Kind of. They are not live, Amy. Nope. These are our podcasts aren't live as of yet. And then just push the button, and you can record your voice. And as you're done, push stop. Save it, and then you can email it. So then you can click on the voice recording. I clearly do. Oh, scary when you hear your own. Click in the upper right hand corner, it says share. Can't even see my share, and then you go to email, and then you can go ahead and email podcast@deckermail.com. Podcast@deckermail.com. No, they are not live currently. They are pre-recorded because it was kind of hard to work with everybody's. Was Dean Sosek. He's one of our drivers. He's just coming off of vacation before he was headed back to work, so he popped in and did an interview with Darren. Darren's the one Darren's the host of the podcast. And then before that, we had a couple of our guys and Don Decker for our first true podcast. And then Dale and Darren were the intros. They basically introduced the fact that we're having the podcast and what it's all about. But yes, podcast@deckermail.com. For more, for any questions that you have. And you don't have to do the voice recording. But what we like about the voice recording is that we can have that play as the question is asked, we can answer it. So we'll be doing more of those. Not everybody has done that. Actually, the majority of them have not done that yet, but feel free to do that. We'd absolutely love it. If you have more questions, you can also contact us through Facebook, facebook.com/detailing. Amy says, I'm an Apple user, so it's different, but still about the same steps. They're pretty, the voicemail, the voice recording is real basic on that particular app on all phones, so we like basic. It makes it easy for us. But yeah, mine's a Droid, an Android. What else? But yeah, they're not live right now. I think next week we will have benefits. I think Andrea will be in for next week's on benefits, so please join us for that. I think that will also be handy for you. Well, not next week's. That's actually coming in 2 days. There we go. That should be in 2 days on Thursday. So, and if you haven't already heard the first couple podcasts, go back and listen to them. They're fun. Kind of get a kick out of them, and you definitely get to learn the history of them on our first podcast. So feel free to check that out. Amy says old school, sorry. Yeah, well, if you don't use it, honestly, it isn't one that a lot of people use. I use it for notes, the voice recording. So if I want to remember something, if I'm out on a walk or away from my desk or whatever, I don't have my sticky notes, which I have everywhere else on my desk, then I'm just going to pick up my phone and do the voice recording, and it'll type it into text or whatever, and then I can send it to myself as a reminder. I think they're pretty handy. They're pretty sweet to me. All right, so let's talk about the Montana area, since we were talking about hiring for our over-the-road refrigerated division based out of Missoula. If you live from Seattle to Spokane along I-90 there, then yes, we can hire you. So we've opened up a little bit of that hiring area, opened it up again. Again, a lot of it had changed when COVID hit. We kind of shrunk down our hiring area to make sure that we were going to be able to maintain the freight and maintain the home time and everything that we've promised the guys that we already have. And we have been. We've been solid. They can just attest to that, how hard they are working and have been working to get the supplies and keeping this nation rolling. So we have opened up from Spokane to Seattle along I-90. Also from the Portland area up to Seattle, we're pretty strong there as well. Missoula is open, and Rocky Mountain Trucker, I am going to double check on Billings for you to be able to answer that. Yeah, so that should be... Amy says, to be honest, it's best to stay a few years old because the new electronics upgrade take too much to learn. I totally agree. Sometimes I agree. On mine, I don't know if you noticed, but mine is still a 6, and I coach boys basketball, and my athletes, they make fun of me all the time because my phone is older than theirs. So, but I refuse to buy a new one until I have to. So over the road refrigerated, based out of Missoula, anywhere from 43 to 48 cents a mile to start you off with. 10 cents of that is per diem, so you're not taxed on 10 cents a mile. And you get a penny per mile raise after 90 days, and a penny raise every year on your anniversary as well. So if you have more questions, let us know. This number right here, this 888-668-0698, that number is directly to the recruiting department. We are there. We'll be answering your questions for you and whether or not we can help you move forward, making sure that you meet all of our qualifications. We do require a minimum of 9 months of over-the-road tractor-trailer experience for this position. It has to be tractor-trailer. It doesn't necessarily need to be over-the-road, but definitely tractor-trailer. The position itself is over-the-road. However, if you live in Seattle, if you live in Missoula, we can get you home on a weekly basis. 7 to 10 days is probably a safer number. Every 7 to 10 days instead of every 2 to 3 weeks, which is most areas in our Western Division that we hire out of. Now, Western Division to us means that it's coast to coast, but most of it is going to be west of the Mississippi. Now, the ones that are getting you home about every 7 to 10 days, that it's an even more confined area, so more of the Midwest, more of the West in that one. And now we have our over-the-road flatbed based out of Bessemer, Alabama. That one, again, is coast to coast. Most of it's going to be running in the southeast as well as the Midwest. So Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin, those are really heavy areas for flatbed for us, as well as with that over-the-road, anywhere from Texas to the Carolinas is going to be really strong. So that one requires 1 year of flatbed experience. It does have to be tractor-trailer flatbed experience for the flatbed division based out of Bessemer, Alabama. Now, other than that, we require 9 months of tractor-trailer experience for our refrigerated, for our van, and even for our Midwest flatbed. But it's our over-the-road flatbed that requires the full year of flatbed experience. Any questions, direct them to the recruiting department. We will be there to answer them. Of course, you can ask them right here, and we'll answer them for you as well. But recruiting is 888-668-0698. And if you're interested, you can apply online at drivedecker.com. And for some of our Decker drivers, for those of you who are asking about qualifications for some of your friends and family that are interested, don't forget we've got that referral bonus. We want to make sure that we are giving you credit where credit is due. So use your TransFlow app on your phone to refer the driver that you're interested in getting a position here at Decker, or either contact your driver manager, or it could be your driver manager or your recruiter, and we'll reach out and we'll just keep a record of it. We just want to make sure that you're getting credit for those hires, because it's $1,500 per driver, pays out within 90 days. So that's a hefty amount. Of course, the more you refer, the more pay you get per driver that you refer. All within 90 days for payout. We like to keep that in check. Midwest refrigerated, Midwest dry van. over the road, or Midwest flatbed, Midwest refrigerated, Midwest dry van. We have positions available in all of those. We have guaranteed pay positions in our Midwest refrigerated, Midwest flatbed. Midwest refrigerated, Midwest flatbed. Make sure I said the right thing. If you have questions on that and where you live based on what areas we're hiring for those positions, please contact us again at 888-668-0698. We cannot work with any major moving violations. So if you have a major moving violation within the last 3 years, it has to be 3 years old. So we can't work with it if it's in the last 3 years. Major moving violations are going to be like following too close, erratic or improper lane change, driving without a commercial license, or driving on a suspended license, DUIs, DWIs, IOWs. What else I've got? Reckless, careless, speeding tickets, 15 miles per hour or more. They say following too close. All of those are considered major moving violations. They have to be 3 years old. Same with DOT recordable accidents. If you have a DOT recordable accident in the last 3 years, then that disqualifies you as well. So, and DOT recordable accidents, if it's preventable, so remember that, it has to be preventable. If it was not your fault, totally different story. But if it's a preventable accident and you were either towed or somebody was towed, or injured, if there was a fatality, any of those, even the insurance costs, those can deem it DOT recordable, which would mean, again, it needs to be at least 3 years old. We can work with minor speeding tickets, minor violations, speeding, backing incidents, things like that, as long as you don't have more than 3 in the last 3 years, then you're fine. Then we can work with that. But again, if you have any questions on the qualifications or hiring area, that's when you're going to contact us. Oh, Anna, you had perfect timing to put that number up there. 888-668-0698. So, all right. Well, I guess I will talk to you next week. Next week we will be talking more about CSA points. We'll be talking about the safe driving, of course, because we want to emphasize safe driving always. Safety is always first, but this is when they're on the lookout. So we want to make sure that we're well aware. We're giving you a week heads up so that you're aware that it's coming, for the Alliance, putting that out there. If you guys have questions on it, let us know. That's what we're here for, 888-668-0698. But the Operational Safe Driver Program starts this Sunday, the 12th, runs through the 18th. And keep your eyes peeled, be safe, follow rules, obey, safety first. We'll talk more about it. All right, thank you for joining us. Please continue to be safe. Take care of yourselves. Amy and Anna say, have a great day. Drive safe. Keep on trucking. That's right. And join us next Monday at 4 p.m. Central on our Facebook page, facebook.com/DTLinc. And here live on our YouTube channel Tuesday at noon Central. So excellent. We'll leave with some good looking pictures that we've got on here. I added some from yesterday, so if you missed or if you watched yesterday, there are a couple extras in here that you might have missed. So we'll give it a minute and help you enjoy. Yes, Operation Safe Driver Week, July 12th through the 18th. Can you believe it's already July 7th? Hope you guys had a wonderful, safe, and wonderful holiday weekend. Always makes me nervous, holiday weekend. Get a little fireworks there. Awesome. All right, you guys, have an awesome rest of your week. Don't forget